Kickboxing. I usually get to have a shower afterwards, but I'm late today. There's burpees at the end of a training session. Killer burpees. I'm sweat. I need to go to the dorm and have a shower. Are you going to record this? It's nice. Let's go. Okay, let's go.
Sweet, right.
You ready, man?
Yeah.
Recording?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hi! Let's play. You ready to live? Right. So we ended up yesterday defining success. How do we define success? Achieving the purpose. And we said success isn't I achieved it or I didn't achieve it. There are varying levels of success. Therefore, to the extent that I achieved the purpose, I was successful. So you can be more and more successful. So a successful businessman achieves the purpose of the business. Successful operation achieves the purpose of the operation. Successful marriage achieves the purpose of the marriage. We get the idea. So then we said, so how do you define a successful life? To the extent that you achieve the purpose of life, then you had a successful life. And we finished off with the question, well, what then is the purpose of life? Which is a very important question, which most people never really ask. They basically say, I'm just going to get by, try and have a nice family, a nice house, a nice job, and be a bit nice, which is fine, but there's got to be a lot more to it than that. And then I said there's really a secular answer that I believe everyone on the face of the planet would agree with. And then there's a more spiritual, Kabbalistic answer, and we'll get to that later. So I grew up in England, not religious, went to Manchester University, studied philosophy, and then I lived in Asia for 6 years, martial arts, Buddhism, Hinduism, all of that stuff. Eventually came to Israel. Everyone I've ever met has basically agreed on what the purpose of life is, even atheists, by the way. Now, a really good atheist, and if you know any, send them to me, I love atheists. It's my favorite sport. Atheist. Alex O'Connor, Sam Harris, you can get me in touch with them, bring them. But basically, even an atheist who doesn't believe in a purpose of life, a good atheist won't say the purpose of life is, why not? Because if there isn't a purposeful creator, then there isn't actually a purpose of life. You can make life meaningful, you can do things, but they wouldn't say there is a purpose of life. We're basically very developed monkeys who have consciousness, which is a problem for them, because how do they explain consciousness? But you'll do that with do both probably. But even they would agree that there are two top values that should drive everything we do. And so we'd call it, these are the purpose of life. And you're going to see that I'm actually going to split them up into purpose and mission. There's your purpose in life and your mission in life. I think they're slightly different, and we'll get into that. But really there are two main top values that should drive everything you do. And to the extent that you achieve these two top values, you will have a successful life. And not only will you have a successful life, these two things are the keys to happiness, self-respect, meaning, good relationships, basically everything you want in life, every single thing you want in life, which is basically happiness, good relationships, self-respect and meaning, and health, depend on these two things. What are they? What are the two driving values? By the way, these should be the two motivating factors for every decision you make. Any decision you make in your life, you should ask yourself, does this fit into these two top values? What are they?
What and why?
Pardon?
What and why?
What and why?
You talking about all that?
But fine, but I want to know what, actually. I want to be very practical. I want the answer to what. And the answer to why. What's the answer to what? What are your two top values? I'm just going to say it because we don't have so much time. Improve yourself and improve the world. That's it. It's very, very simple. Once again, I did tell you at the beginning, I'm probably not going to say anything you don't already know. But you're not clear on these things. You have to be very, very clear on your purpose. We said yesterday there are these three steps. What are your goals? What are the means to achieve the goals? Do those things. So we have to get this very, very clear if you want to achieve those things. There are many other ways to say these two things, improve yourself, improve the world, and they are growth and contribution. Grow and contribute. Be good and do good. self-actualization and universal actualization. Reach your potential, help others reach their potential. But it's all saying the same thing: be good, do good, improve yourself, improve the world. Growth, contribution. These are your two driving factors in your life. To the extent that you achieve these two things, I guarantee that you will have a successful, happy, meaningful life with self-esteem and good relationships. I guarantee that. Now, do you know what's so good about this? The thing that's so good about this is, who is it up to?
You.
You. Only you. You get to choose how much you improve yourself and improve the world. You don't get to choose how many people like you and how rich you are, and you don't get to choose these things. And they're not going to bring you happiness anyway. So these things that are going to bring you, guaranteed, they will bring you happiness, health, good relationships, self-esteem and meaning, guaranteed, they are completely up to you. So the greater you are, the greater your life will be. So what do we mean, by the way? Let's break it down. When I say improve yourself, what does that actually mean? Does that mean become as good as you can at tennis? If I say, you know what, I'm going to spend a year, I'm really going to work on myself. And I come back after a year and I'm one of the top tennis players in the world. Is that called improving yourself? No, that's called improving your tennis game. That's not called, how about your clothes? I got a perfect wardrobe. That means I improved myself? No, that means I improved my wardrobe. So how do you define a great person? What makes a great person? Is it how much money you have? Is it how much money you have? Are the richest people in the world the greatest? So you've got the richest person in the world, he's beating up his wife. Is he a great person? No. Can you be very, very rich and great? Yes, you can, but being rich doesn't make you great. How about this? The best looking person in the world. Is that a great person? If he's abusing people, he's an awful, awful person. So being rich doesn't make you great, and being good looking doesn't make you great, and being really, 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 really good at tennis doesn't make you great, and being really intelligent doesn't make you great. So what makes you great? How do you define greatness? What makes you great? Character traits. Midot. That's it. Greatness is defined by good character traits. Think of someone you do actually look up to in your life. A mentor. Maybe your father, maybe your rabbi, maybe a teacher at school, something. Why do you look up to that person? It's probably not because they drive a nice car. You might be jealous because you want to have that car, but you look up to them because they're kind, because they're always there for you, because they're invested in other people, because they've been through really challenging times but haven't been a victim to that, and they've really got up and rebuilt their lives, because they're generous. You look up to and admire people for their character traits. That's what greatness is. So you can be extremely rich, extremely good looking, and extremely kind, and that would be great. Have it all. Go for it. I want you to be very rich, and give me at least 10% of your money. I'm going to set up a martial arts chesed yeshiva in the desert. And don't think I'm going to feed you like they feed you here.
You still practice.
It's just like sweating.
No.
Just came straight out of the kickboxing right now. My yeshiva is going to be great. We're going to sleep on yoga mats. We're going to get up before sunrise, like you should be doing anyway. Maybe not yet, but that should be a goal in your life. If that's not one of the goals in your life, to get up before sunrise, I don't think you're even in the game.
Why?
Anyone who's living with immense purpose is getting up before sunrise. Every Buddhist monk, I lived in Asia for 6 years, every social entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, every Hamas terrorist, everyone, I'm being serious, I'm not joking. Anyone who's living for something is getting up before sunrise. It's a very powerful time. But hold on, but how are you meant to get up before sunrise if you're on TikTok till 2 in the morning? Yeah, good question. Don't be on TikTok till 2 in the morning. Don't be on TikTok, full stop. Anyway, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about what you do. Because if you want to be a master, you've got to start living. You're going to drag yourself out of bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like, what are you doing? You have no self-respect. How can you even have self-respect? And I was being nice by saying 7:30, 8 o'clock. You're like, whoa, you gotta get up at 11 and smoke weed. For a fortnight. Really? You think that's why you're here? Smoke weed and play Fortnite? Crazy. You're here to become the greatest person you could possibly become. And playing Fortnite and smoking weed isn't going to get you there. It's not helping anyone. It's not doing anything for you. Is this fair? Fair? Want to fight me? I'll fight you.
That could be the future war. We could decide.
Who's kinder? The war of kindness. The war of light. How much light can you bring to the world? So fine, so now it's very, very, very clear. Now let's just quickly, because I'm now going to go into very deeply, so how do I improve my character traits? What is a character trait? How do I do that? But first of all, do you get this? Is this very clear? You're allowed to disagree. I want you to disagree. But I haven't said anything that you can disagree with yet. Do you think the richest people in the world are the happiest people in the world?
No.
Do you think the best looking people in the world are the happiest people in the world?
No.
Do you think the kindest people in the world who are kind to themselves and kind to other people, do you think the happiest people in the world? Yes. Do you think the richest people in the world have the best relationships?
No.
Do you think the best looking people have the best relationships? Do you think the kindest people have the best relationships? Yes. They're very clear. They're very, very clear. So really, this is the key to everything you want in your life, and it's completely up to you. You basically have no valid excuse not to be a great person. I'm going to meet you in 30 years from now. I'm going to be like, oh man, how are you doing? And if you're like, yeah, not too bad, and I'll punch you in the face. I really am. I just am. Because I love you. But if you become a loser after I'm just ranting at you every morning, I'm going to rant at you, and you still end up a loser, that's just your fault. That's your fault. Are your kids going to respect you? Is your 11-year-old son going to be like, this is my dad? You're going to come home and he's like, hello, father. My son does that. It's a light joke, but it is funny. Hello, father. Hello, son. We went and played tennis. We went and played tennis in the park last night at 9 o'clock because he doesn't have school yet. My 11-year-old son. It was okay, and we hustled. It was very good. I used to play lots of tennis before you were born, children. Anyway, so what's going to happen is in like 30 years from now, there's going to be a sign in your shul in like New Jersey. God forbid if you decide not to live in Israel for some weird reason. Scholar in residence, Rabbi Dov Ber. And you're going to either be very excited or very scared. Because I'm going to come and I'm going to see you and I'm going to go, no. And you're either going to be like, yeah, Baruch Hashem. Or you're going to say, yes, thank you, I'm living very life. This is my beautiful wife and children. These are the people I'm helping. Yes, I do get up before sunrise. Yes, I am exercising. I am staying fit. Of course, I'm not looking at my phone, at least in bed. You do not take your phone into bed with you. How dare you take it? You can put it on flight mode, plane mode, whatever it's called, and use it as your alarm on grayscale. You're looking at your phone in bed, you're psychotic. That's going to make you a happy, healthy person. Do you think that? Don't do that. Don't do things you know aren't helping. This is what I said yesterday. Your goal is to get here, so stop doing things that are stopping you from getting there. And being on your phone in bed is stopping you from getting there. Stop doing that. And don't wake up 20 years from now and have some midlife crisis and be like, what have I done? It's your fault. It's very clear. Yeah. It's easier said than done. Shut up. Easier said than done is the most weak excuse thing. Never say that to me. Never say those words to me. Because if it's not easier said than done, it's not worthwhile doing. What isn't easier said than done? Everything's easier said than done. Walking up the stairs is easier said than done. Don't walk up the stairs, said you. What do you do? What are you talking about? You know what? I love this idea, Rabbi, but it's easier said than done. Unless you say, it's easier said than done, therefore I'm excited for the challenge. You can say that. It's easier said than done. I'm very excited. It's easy. If you hear those words come out your mouth, you should say, oh my goodness, what have I done? It's easier said than done. And I want you to actually, whilst you're in a yeshiva, because it's a good place for this, especially in my class, see how many times your mind says to you, oh, that's easier said than done. As if it's an excuse. I like that, Rabbi, but it's easier said than done. Fair? Is that fair? Am I being fair? Just very quickly, because we only got 1 minute, it's my fault, I'm late. This is why I divide them into purpose and mission. There's a difference between your purpose and your mission. Your purpose is to improve yourself. Your mission is to improve the world. In Hebrew, they have two different words. Your purpose is called your tachlit, and your mission is called your tafkid. Your tafkid is your role, your mission. And your role and mission in life isn't to be a real estate agent. Now, you can be a real estate agent, I don't mind. Be a very kind one, a loving one, give money to tzedakah, love Shabbos, be a Kiddush Hashem. I'm not saying you can't be a real estate. Don't think that's your mission in life. That's your career. We don't believe in careers. Korea is a country where you get black belt in Taekwondo. Thank you very much. I don't have a career, I have a passion. In fact, one of my students, he was becoming more observant, and his unobservant girlfriend says, ask your male chauvinistic rabbi why religious Jews don't want women to have careers. And I said, tell her that we don't want men to have careers either. Let's talk about it. Firstly, women can have careers. You can be top CEOs. There are many religious women with 8 children who are top CEOs. But I said, just tell her we're not into a career. And that whole world that you come from, that I come from, everything is defined by your career. Someone said to my son Binyamin when he was about 6, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he's like, I want to be kind. And I said, no, you don't understand. I mean, what do you want to do? He said, oh, I want to help people. And they're like, you don't understand. What job? And he said, oh. And I said to them, you don't understand, you idiot. Your whole definition of self and identity is based on your job. What do you do? I'm a lawyer. What do you do? You know what I do? You know what I do? I get up early, I pray, I help people, I raise my family, I try to inspire people to live great lives, that's what. But now what's your career? I don't have a career, I have a passion that I happen to be getting paid for. We'll talk about that in a second, by the way. Yes?
So your mission is
how are you going to
yourself?
No, your purpose is improving
Purpose
yourself,
for yourself,
which is basically character traits for now, but we're going to we're going to open that up. But when I say improve yourself, I mean character traits. That means let go of your jealousy, anger, hatred, vanity, guilt, anxiety, low self-esteem, arrogance. Get rid of your negative character traits and manifest and tap into love, compassion, playfulness, kindness, motivation. That's it. And to the extent you do that, you'll have a great life. That's it. So that's your purpose. And we all have the same purpose. We all have different character traits to work on, but we all have the same purpose. Mission is different. My mission is to empower Jewish people and eventually the whole of humanity to live the greatest lives they can and bring God consciousness into the world. That's my mission. Well, I think that's the Jewish people's mission. It should be all of our missions. But some people, I'm a doctor, I want to be a doctor. My mission is to heal people. I'm a personal trainer. I want to make people fit and strong and healthy. Whatever it is, I'm a therapist. So we're going to talk about your mission a little bit more. But when people come up to me and say, you know what, Rabbi, I just don't know my purpose in life. I say, yes, you do. Become the greatest person. You become God. What you mean is I don't know my mission. And that's very easy. We'll talk about it next time. It's quite easy to work out your mission. Let's just do it very quickly now. I'm going to tell you what your mission in life is. You ready? You have to work out who you want to help, seeing as your mission is to improve the world, to help other people. So who is it? What group of people in particular do you relate to most that you feel you want to help? And in general, there are 2 ways to know that. The first way is your pain. What pain did you go through as a kid? So if you were abused as a kid, then your mission in life is to, in some way, support kids who are being abused. If you were bullied as a kid, then your mission in life is to help kids who are being bullied. If you were an alcoholic, your mission in life is to help alcoholics. Whatever your pain, your abuse and your pain that you went through, turn your pain into purpose by healing yourself from your pain to the greatest that you can, and then going out there and relating to the people who say, I was there, I know what you're going through, I understand, and this is how you can get that the purpose. The other one is your privilege. What's your privilege? I had a great upbringing, amazing education, amazing parents. So I went to work in orphanages because they didn't have it. So I want to share my privilege. I have a responsibility to share my privilege with other people. Or you might just have something that you care about. So I'm okay with that. There are lots of issues in the world. There's Holocaust survivors who are below the poverty line, and there are millions of children dying of diarrhea in India, and there are lots of bad stuff going on at the moment. At the moment, I'm just giving all my money to widows and orphans of IDF. IDFWO. If you want to give your money anywhere, give it to them. They're doing very. Why? Because I feel these people have sacrificed their lives for me, so I can sacrifice my money for them and their wives and their children. So you've got to work out what is the group of people that you want to connect to help, and in general that's your pain or your privilege. And then all you have to do is, what do I love doing? What are my talents? What's my passion? What are my skills? So how can I use what I love doing to help the people I want to help? So for example, if you love trekking in the wilderness and you were bullied as a kid, set up wilderness camps for kids to teach them martial arts so they don't get bullied anymore. So it means you get to do what you love doing and empower the people. If you were abused as a kid and you loved art, so become an art therapist. Very simple. Use what you love doing to help the people you want to help. And if you can't get paid to do your mission, if you can get paid to do your mission, that's the best. You don't work a day in your life, you have the best life. But let's say you can't. So get a decent job, but give your 10% at least, or really 10 to 20%, to people who are doing your mission. And volunteer for your mission. And educate people about your mission. So you can still invest in your mission even if you can't make that your life. So really there are three things. There's your purpose, your mission, and your parnasa, your money. Your tachlit, your tafkid, and your parnasa. If you can make parnasa doing your tafkid, then that's great. If you can't, that's fine. Final test question. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, his purpose in life was to take the Jewish people out of Egypt and bring down the Torah, correct?
You said his purpose in life was to be the best person.
Beautiful. That was not his purpose in life. That was his mission. His purpose was to become the best person he could possibly be. Humble, kind, spiritually connected. His mission was to take the Jews out of Egypt. That was a trick question, children. So I want you to now walk around for the rest of the day at least, but I think you should do this 5 times a day for the rest of your life. Saying, my purpose is to become the greatest person I can. Just say that. Keep tapping into your purpose. But this is my purpose in life. Because if you're walking around without consciously being aware of your purpose, you just won't do it, and you'll say, you know what, that was a very inspirational class, but come on, I've got to pay the bills and I want a nice house. Separate class, by the way, the less materially needy you are, the more free you are to do your mission. If you don't need a huge mansion and a huge flat screen TV and a Ferrari, then you don't need to work overtime and miss your kids' birthdays just to get that stuff. So you're free. Freedom from material craving and greed and the American dreams is one of the greatest freedom you can have. Along with freedom from what other people think about you, and freedom from needing the external circumstances to go your way in order for you to be happy. Those are 3 big freedoms, and I'm going to set you free, husband. Any questions?